Hey guys, it's Miss West Social Studies class. Today we are learning more about imperialism. We're going to talk about United States expansionism. So it's part 3 of our imperialism unit. Alright, so first off, we're going to talk about some supporters of imperialism. These guys, President William McKinley right here and President Theodore Roosevelt right here, were big supporters of imperialism. After the Civil War, some Americans wanted to expand the American empire as well. It would help our factories because we would have more markets to sell goods. We would get more natural resources. We could create more jobs. And also, we think America is awesome. And because America is so awesome, we should spread American ideals all over the world. The Monroe Doctrine is when President Monroe basically made a statement for all the European countries or all the imperialistic countries that said, hey, you, stay out of the Western Hemisphere. The Western Hemisphere is ours. Don't even think about creating colonies in the Western Hemisphere. The Latin Americans had just gotten their independence from Spain and Portugal. The United States is trading with Latin America, and we didn't want anyone disrupting that relationship. So Monroe said, stay out of the Western Hemisphere, and we will stay out of the Eastern Hemisphere, and that is the Monroe Doctrine. US Expansionism, or imperialism, happened because of 3 major things. Number 1, we want new markets to sell all of our stuff. We've got all these factories. These factories have stuff they want to sell, make some profits. If we take over or if we expand our influence, then we can have those people buy all of that stuff. Second thing is the spirit of adventure. Americans started going out west, and we're like, it's really cool to go exploring. So we've got the spirit of adventure. We're going to go around the world being adventurous. And the last thing is the spirit of nationalism, pride in the American way of life, and we're going to spread those American ideals. You need to know these 3 things, 3 reasons or 3 causes for U.S. expansionism. All right, so let's talk about Alaska. During this time, we purchased Alaska. Alaska, is enormous compared to the rest of the United States, the size of the land mass. And so it was a lot of land to add to the empire. We bought it from Russia, and we bought it for super cheap. I think the equivalent of today's money would be like 50 cents an acre. Super cheap. And we bought it for like $7 million, which is nothing for the government. Well, the guy that purchases it, Secretary of State William Seward, everyone thought he's an idiot. They laughed at him. The Seward's icebox and Seward's folly. And everyone thought that was a stupid purchase. Until, of course, gold and oil were found there. And now everyone's like, way to go, Seward. Good job. Next place, Hawaii. Hawaii is annexed. Now, Hawaii is in the Pacific, and it provides the United States a military fueling station, as well as for U.S. merchants. So, boats that leave the United States have a potty break stop. They can stop there, grab a pineapple, maybe a couple papayas, and then head on their way over to Asia. And Americans were really in Hawaii before it was annexed. If you've heard of Dole, the fruit cups, that started in Hawaii. But Americans were really just worried that someone else was going to take Hawaii, like Japan. So it was annexed before someone else could take Hawaii. All right, the big war that you need to know of is the Spanish-American War, or the War of 1898. It is between Spain and America, but it takes place in Cuba. Cuba right here off the tip of Florida. We care about Cuba because it's super close to us. We're going to talk about it later on this year when they have missiles pointed at us. So the Cubans are being controlled by the Spanish. And we hear rumblings that the Cubans are not happy with the Spanish. So we're like, we should go in there and liberate them. And then there's some newspapers that really start exaggerating stories. We talked about Pulitzer and Hearst and yellow journalism. That's going on, and the American people are really riled up and ready to declare war on Spain. Well, President McKinley's like, now, we've got some Americans in Cuba. let's send the battleship Maine. This is the Maine. It's the name of the battleship. Let's send that ship to Havana in Cuba to sit in the harbor and protect the Americans there. Then, all of a sudden, the boat blows up. And lots of people die. Americans are dead. All of America freaks out. They're like, it's the Spanish. The Spanish are like, it's not us. And we declare war on Spain. The war lasts for about 4 months. You can see here, these are the Rough Riders that go into Cuba. Now, there's not a ton of fighting. It's not some like bloody, crazy war. But a 4-month war, guess who wins? America wins! The Spanish lose. And when they lose, America acquires or gets Guam, the Philippines, in the Pacific, and Puerto Rico. Cuba wins its independence, but it's placed under U.S. protection. All right, so everyone's like, yay, go America, and now we've expanded our empire even more. Thank you, Spanish-American War. Also, recall that the Spanish had had the Philippines since the beginning of the school year, and now they don't. All right, next up, the Panama Canal. Like, take a look at this map, okay? So here is the United States. Over here is Asia. So the United States now has like the Philippines, and we need to like get over there whenever we want. We also are doing a lot of trading over here. Well, we have two options. We can go all the way around South America and over to Asia, or we can go across the Atlantic around Africa and over to Asia. So then they come up with this great idea. You know, this is a tiny little piece of land right here. What if we just build a canal through the Isthmus of Panama? An isthmus is a narrow body of land that connects two greater land masses. So this little skinny strip of land, what if we just put a canal through there? Then our boats can take off here, go through the canal. Wow, I can't talk today. And then stop in Hawaii, you know, for a potty break, and then go on over to Asia. Super fast and easy. Makes sense, right? So that's what we do. We build a canal. So it makes the long trip from the east coast of the U.S. to Asia. Now, I know you're thinking, why didn't we leave the west coast? We didn't have a lot going on in the west coast yet. So the Panama Canal makes the trip faster. Here you can see this little tiny strip of land, and this is what it looked like. Here they're building it. It's President Teddy Roosevelt, or Theodore Roosevelt, that orders the canal to be built. And there it is, right there. Here's a vocab term, isthmus, a narrow strip of land that connects two larger land masses together. So that, my friends, is the Panama Canal. Oh, now, a little history of this canal. It's great that we want to build it, right? Because that's amazing. However, it's controlled by Colombia. So the United States basically supports the rebels of Panama to revolt against Colombia so that they can get their independence, and then the United States can build the Panama Canal. It's kind of dirty, isn't it? Kind of underhanded. So anyways, Panama Canal is great now, even today, for quickly getting to Asia from the East Coast. All right, and the last thing are some of our response questions. If you would like to answer these questions for extra credit, you can answer them directly on the YouTube channel. Just comment below. Have a great day.